There's a sentence that sounds like maturity, looks like wisdom, and is almost always doing a completely different job than the one it advertises. People say it with pride. They put it in dating bios, in comments, in the reasons they give for why a conversation never happened. It has become one of the quietest status symbols of the last decade. 3 things in this video: what the sentence is actually doing, who trains a person to say it, and the difference between peace and distance that looks like peace. The sentence is this: I don't do drama, or one of its cousins. I'm not into conflict. I avoid negativity. I just rise above it. Every version is slightly different. Every version does the same work. Every version sounds like strength. And every version, almost every time, is protecting something the speaker hasn't looked at in a long time. Start the cultural moment. Something shifted in the last 10 or 15 years. Drama became a dirty word. Entire dating profiles now lead with what people don't do. The subtext is clear. Being above emotional mess is now a form of status. The person who never raises their voice, never gets into it, never lets things escalate. That person is presented, both to the world and to themselves, as having evolved past something. They have done the work. They have grown up. They are, at last, calm. And some of them genuinely have. That's the part that makes the whole thing tricky. Real emotional steadiness exists. Some people did do the work. Some people really did learn to regulate their nervous system and pick their battles and stop fighting about things that don't matter. Those people are real. They're also rare. And the rest, a much larger group, are running a completely different program with almost identical branding. Now look at it from the other side. From the person standing across from the no drama individual. That person often describes something very specific. They describe the sensation of reaching toward someone and meeting a smooth surface. They describe bringing up something real and being met with a small, composed response that ends the conversation without anyone raising their voice. They describe the particular loneliness of being with someone who is never difficult and also never fully present. They describe noticing, after a while, that they have started to self-edit, to choose the easier subject, to stop bringing up the thing. And they describe not being able to explain, to themselves or to anyone else, why a relationship with no fighting in it has started to feel like a room with no oxygen. That room is real. It has a smell. And the person who built it is often the last one to notice the air. Where does this sentence come from? Not the modern cultural version, the personal one. The one a specific human being learned to say. Susan Johnson, who developed emotionally focused therapy by watching thousands of couples fight and not fight, mapped a pattern called the pursuer-withdrawer cycle.
Exactly.
One person moves toward conflict to resolve it. The other moves away from it to survive it.
I already said I'm finished.
The withdrawer
discussing this.
isn't lazy. The withdrawer isn't uncaring. The withdrawer is running a regulation strategy they learned in a household where conflict was not safe. That's the training ground.
Well,
Not every household that produces a withdrawer was violent or
now,
obvious.
anyway.
Often it was something quieter.
I can't believe
A mother whose mood turned on a dime.
Well, it's
A father
true.
who went silent for 3 days if someone said the wrong thing. A household with long stretches of peace that could end in a sentence. The child watched. The child calibrated. The child learned a very specific equation. Speaking up equals punishment. Withdrawal equals survival. The child grows up and takes that equation with them. They don't notice it's an equation. By the time they're an adult, it's just how they are. Calm, composed, not into drama. The sentence is a description of a stable personality as far as the speaker can tell. From the inside, it feels like wisdom, From the outside, for anyone trying to actually be close to this person, it feels like a door that doesn't quite open all the way. John Gottman,
Look at
the
the
University of
correlation here.
Washington,
Pulling up the
ran
data now.
longitudinal
The
studies
historical
tracking
trends are
married
similar.
couples for years, in some cases, decades. He was looking for predictors of which marriages would last and which would end. The most famous finding involved four behaviors he called the four horsemen of relationship dissolution:
defensiveness,
criticism,
and finally,
contempt, defensiveness, and stonewalling. Stonewalling, the deliberate withdrawal from
and then after
engagement during
breakfast, we can
conflict,
head straight to the park.
turned out to
And I
be
heard
one
they
of the
finally
strongest
opened a new
predictors
trail.
of eventual
It's gonna
dissolution.
be amazing, don't you?
Not yelling, not arguing, withdrawing. The calm one, the composed one, the one who wouldn't get into it, was statistically the one whose relationship was most likely to end. Sit with that. Because almost everything in the current culture tells the opposite story.
When we look at withdrawal frequency
Withdrawal is
versus
marketed
longevity,
as the mature
the traditional
move.
approach shows a decline.
Gottman's
while
data
our
suggests
strategy
it is
indicates
often the
clear
beginning
growth.
of the end. Not because the person who withdraws is cruel. Because what looks like restraint on one side looks, on the other side, like an absence. And absences slowly dismantle the thing they were supposed to be protecting. 3 markers separate genuine maturity from managed distance. Marker 1. What happens when a topic gets real?
It's good to finally meet
A mature
you.
person can stay in the room
Don't
with
wor-
discomfort. Their voice may lower, their pace may slow, but they remain
I
engaged.
don't understand how you can just sit there with your
Their
hands in
body
your
is still
pockets.
oriented
This
toward
is
the other
exactly what I'm
person.
talking about.
A managed
Okay, I'm
distance
listening.
person has a different move. They get calmer. Their voice gets smoother.
There it goes, leveling right off.
The pace of the conversation starts to
Perfect.
flatten. Somehow, without any obvious sign, the conversation is over. No one quite knows when it ended. The calmness isn't presence. It's a lock sliding into place. Marker 2. What the other person reports. Ask the people closest to the no-drama individual a specific question.
Notice how "are they
Not,
met"
"Are they
fades
difficult?"
out as we switch
Everyone
to
can answer that. Ask, do you feel fully met by them? The genuinely mature person is met in their relationships. People feel close to them. Conflict is rare, yes, but so is the sense of hitting a wall.
It's such a perfect day out
The
here.
managed
No,
distance person
seriously,
lives
I
with people
love the
who,
colors on the
when asked
trees.
privately,
We should do this more
will describe
often
a
before it
version of the
gets
same
cold.
thing. They're wonderful, but I don't know if I really know them. They never fight. Sometimes I wish they would. I don't know how to bring up hard things
So
with
we
them.
connect the teal pathway here.
If 3 people in a person's life independently
And
report
the
that
orange one
sensation, the sentence isn't describing peace, it's describing policy. Marker 3. What happens when you, the no-drama person, encounter a friend in actual distress? Not tragedy. Just ongoing, complicated human mess. A friend going through a slow divorce? A colleague melting down quietly over a family situation? Does your nervous system lean in, or does it back away? Real maturity can tolerate other people's disorder without being destabilized by it. Managed distance cannot. It finds reasons to be less available. It reframes the friend as too much right now. It moves on to steadier companions. The pattern is not about being a bad person. It is about a system that was trained very early to treat other people's emotional intensity as a signal of danger. And systems trained that way keep running that way long after the danger is gone. But here's where it gets uncomfortable. Most people in this audience already suspected something like this about themselves. You already know this. You just don't want to hear it out loud.
Look,
Because
we
if
need
I
to
don't do
discuss
drama,
this calmly.
there's actually
Shouting
I
won't
manage
solve
distance.
music is actually pretty good.
A lot of decisions look different
oh, yeah.
in
Did you try the
retrospect.
punch yet?
The friendship that faded because the friend became too much. The relationship that ended because it was getting too intense. The family member who gradually stopped calling. Each of those was framed, at the time, as the mature choice. A different framing is now available. Okay, that hurts. Take a breath with it. There was a dinner.
I am so excited about
A
our
midweek
trip next
evening.
week.
Nothing
Look,
special.
I've already
Two
circled the
people
dates
who
on
had
the
been
calendar.
together for 4 years.
It should be nice.
One of them said carefully that she felt like she didn't quite know how to reach him anymore. Not an accusation, an invitation. She was offering a door. The other person, composed, warm, articulate, non-reactive, responded with a calm paragraph about how she was probably overthinking it, that he loved her, that they were fine, and gently changed the subject. No voice raised, no hurt feelings expressed on his side. From the outside, the exchange was a model of emotional maturity. From the inside, it was a small execution. Something in the relationship that had been alive in the room got quietly taken out behind the house. She noticed. She didn't bring it up again. About a year later, she left. When friends asked
I don't know
why,
what to
she
tell
said,
you guys.
honestly,
It just seems
I don't know.
pointless.
nothing was ever wrong. She was telling the truth. That was the problem. Nothing was ever allowed to be wrong. One question separates genuine peace from managed distance. Ask it in a calm moment, not during a fight. Ask yourself,
Why are you just standing there? Say something.
can the people close to me bring
It
me a
doesn't
hard
matter.
truth
It's
about
all
myself?
falling apart anyway.
And do I make that possible
Who
to
wants
do?
to come with me on an
If the answer
adventure?
involves any hedging,
We could explore the
well, if they approach it right, if they're not being dramatic about it, as long as it's not personal. The hedging is the data. A room with conditions on it is not a room where honesty can live. It's a room where the other person has learned, over time, what not to say. What looks like maturity is often a wall built by a kid who learned that speaking up gets punished, now rung in a body that has been safe for years. What looks like peace is often a permission slip the environment never gave, and the adult never went back to claim. The point here is not
What
that
is
drama is
happening?
good.
I
drama
can't see
is
anything.
not
Where
good.
did the light go?
Chaos,
Where did this
shouting,
come from?
cruelty, none of that is wisdom either.
It's glass.
The point is that the opposite of drama is not distance. The opposite of drama is the ability to stay in a difficult conversation without leaving your body, without lowering the temperature to zero, without ending the topic through composure. Real steadiness is loud enough to survive a real conversation. A peace that requires everyone around it to self-censor isn't peace. It's a room everyone tiptoes through. And right now, somebody watching this is thinking about a specific person
We
in
need
their
to
life
leverage these
who has
preliminary
described
findings
themselves
immediately.
The data
more
is
than once
conclusive. We
as not being into drama. That's useful information. The next piece is what to do with it, which, for most people, is not a confrontation. It's an observation, a quiet internal note, a small loosening of the belief that the composed person in your life is automatically the safe one. Next, a different sentence this audience uses about themselves. I'm not
Goals
ambitious.
around.
Sounds honest. Sometimes is. A lot of the time, it's doing the same kind of job as the sentence in this video, protecting something the speaker hasn't been back to check on in a long time. Monday,